Howdy ho, and welcome to the 1218 Show. My name is Mike Wilson. I am your host. This is episode 7. So far, everything's been going pretty good with the podcast. Getting some more subscribers, and people are a little bit excited about it. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching. If it's on YouTube, I really appreciate it, and I hope we can continue to make the channel grow. That being said, I'm coming at you this week with a little bit of drab news. I know that I've referenced that I work at a bar in Manhattan several times over the series of the podcast, and last week I know I said just got some bad news and whatever, and I didn't want to dispose of it yet. But the bar that I work at is called Bar Coastal. For those of you that don't know, it's on the Upper East Side in Manhattan. It's been a Upper East Side staple for 22 years. It's a little sports joint. I don't think it was intended to be that when it first opened, but it became that. It's got TVs, and they serve some really good bar food, and we're known for our wings. The wings have won contests, and a lot of people think they're the best in the city, which makes them arguably the best in the world. People from Buffalo won't agree with that, but that's kind of what it's known for. Anyway, I started there in the spring of May-ish of 2001, and I got word last week that they're going to close up shop permanently. So I've been fortunate to work there for the majority of my 20s, or half of my 20s, all of my 30s. I've been there for in the first half of my 40s. So it's there was a small break because of COVID. I went and tried my hand at another job. I sold some insurance, got my insurance licenses, and sold insurance. And it was a welcome break. I was glad I did it. For those of you that are burnt out on your job, because I was at burnout stage for sure. I'd actually tried my hand at real estate a short while before that, and Manhattan real estate's just a nightmare. And after being in it for a little while and talking to other agents and seeing how hard they hustled for so little money, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'll go back to bartending. So I did that. But I did the insurance thing for a minute, and that's still not completely out of the question. But I'm still licensed and everything. But it made me really appreciate the bar life. The food/drink service industry a lot. Just the daily conversing with so many different people, and the number of conversations, and you always got something on a TV, and you've always got some music in your ear, and there's always conversation to be had that goes along with the actual job itself. So there are, as with every job, there are ups and downs. There are downfalls, pitfalls, things that annoy you, people that annoy you. But that just goes with working with the public. And that little break I took and worked in the corporate world for a hot minute really made me appreciate it a little more. So as things started to open back up last summer, well, a year and a half ago now, last fall I should say, I started, there became some more shifts available, and I started phasing my way back into the bar life because the insurance thing didn't really work out the way it initially had intended, which that's a story for another day. But I'm sad to say that Bar Coastal's closing Sunday. Today's Friday. Thursday. Well, it's Friday morning. I'm doing this in the middle of the night. I had to work today. We've been crazy since they announced that we're in our final days. It's been a zoo. I mean, people are coming out in droves to support us, to say goodbye, to say farewell, to thank us, to be a patron. I mean, there's been so many endless amounts of stories and relationships generated there, created friendships, marriages. I can't tell you the number of people who met their spouse there, and came back for after they were married and whatnot. They courted each other there and fell in love there, and we've seen all these relationships grow and blossom, and it's just been some really great friendships and stuff. So that, along with just the good times of the sports, and you know, like as I said, I've been there since '01. So we got to experience a couple of Yankees World Series. We got to experience both Giants Super Bowl wins. We got to experience the Rangers in the Stanley Cup. We've done a few World Cups, which the first round of the World Cup, you know, it's an every 4-year thing. In soccer, we didn't. It was not a thing really. People didn't really care unless you went to a soccer bar, usually an English pub or an Irish pub or something like that. And then I don't remember which year it was. I want to say '06 or '08. I don't know what years they fall on. This is 22 coming up, right? So it must have been 2010 World Cup. And it was, we got hit. We weren't expecting it, and it was. We just got buried with people, and a friend of mine that was a bartender at another place had never even worked at our joint, happened to be there, and I looked at the owner, and he looked at me like, "What are we gonna do?" And I said, "See if our buddy Ryan will work." And so Ryan jumped behind the bar and said, "I know nothing," and I said, "Just pour drinks. I'll do all the computer stuff." And thank God he was there because he saved us. But I mean, there's just countless stories like that where people just pitched in when you know, hurricanes, blizzards. I mean, it has just been such an experience. Elections, that's crazy. I mean, election night I hated them actually, because people, especially the last 3 or 4. Well, I guess I've been there for 4 elections. So the last 2, no, '08, 12. Yeah, because you know, we really didn't feature them on the TV. As you know, politics and bar booze and stuff usually don't go hand in hand. So, but people would come out. Either they were watching it at home, or they would come to the bar during, and just, you know, be paying attention to a news, or you know, get a phone call early on or later, watch it on their phone, and just as results came in. And the last 2 that we went through, I made sure that, like, we had extra people there, just because there were some angry people in the world, and they came out to pick on people, start fights, that kind of thing. And it was, you know, there was a couple times where I was just like, man, this is weird. And people were, especially in New York City, where, you know, people are very devoted to their political party, let's say. So there's been, man, countless experiences. You know, I received the notification that my grandfather had died while I was working there. It just, I mean, I can't tell you all the life experiences that I've had there. Not to mention the countless friendships that I've made, that I've been lucky enough to have. The countless friends that have come that were planning to come see me, or somebody, like, I'll never forget an old schoolmate of mine. His name was Steve Ananias. His mother was actually one of my teachers in grade school. I'm working one night, I believe it was a Monday or a Tuesday night, and in walks Steve. Now, I hadn't seen him in close to, and definitely over 20 years. And he walked in the door, and I was like, "Steve," and he said he was out here on business for had a day or two, so he went on social media to find out who he knew in New York, and saw that I was at this bar, and just showed up. And I mean, just surprises like that, little things. All of my theater friends, all the theater community world that Pete Geither is an old professor that used to work in the theater department in Illinois State. And one year he used to do an annual trip with the theater program out to New York. They would go and see Broadway shows, and he would essentially show them around the city. Pete used to live here, and there was several, and so he knew the city well, knew the subway systems well, knew how to get around. And, you know, he was a good leader of the group. Although I never actually took the trip with him, but knowing him as a professor at ISU, and then just over the years, he certainly knows New York, so he was a perfect leader for the group. And he brought them in one year, when they knew that I was working, and they had an evening to, you know, he would put up, "Hey, what do you guys suggest?" or where's everybody? You know, obviously with the theater program, several people usually end up in New York. So, one year I said, hey, I'm there and I'll be there. I'll be working this night. And he brought them in, and that was great. Man, my family, I mean, everyone's been here. My dad and my stepmom have been here. All my sisters and my brother have been there. My mother obviously has been here. All at different times throughout the last 20 years. They've all got to come and see where I worked. And I've met most of my friends from high school and college. They've all been here, spent some time out here, joined me when I was working or stopped in when I wasn't, just, I don't know. I mean, just so many friendships. Then and people that I've known from New York, they've made me feel at home. I learned how to gamble there. I mean, it's just crazy. I met most of the people that I've dated over the course of the years have been because I met them there. Lots of love, lots of stories, lots of good times, and I'm really, it's a bittersweet thing. I know that it's time for a next chapter. I know that it's time for a new leaf to be turned over. I just hope it's one that I enjoy and that we can. I don't really know what the word is. I just hope that the next corner is as fulfilling as the last 20 years have been. Not to say that there have not been frustrations, not to say that I did not hit some burnout phases, not to say that I didn't go through a period where I was a major asshole, because I definitely did. There's just moments, as we all go through, where you have to pull back and look at yourself and say, man, is that who I am? Is that who I want to be? And luckily I've had enough people in my life also that love me and support me and say, dude, what's wrong with you these days? And that's, weeding out the poisonous people, keeping the good ones that fill you up close. This is all important stuff. And all of these topics, we'll continue to discuss as time goes on, but this is a turning page moment in my life, and I just wanted to share it. I thought that it would be something that I just want you to know out there in the world, that this is not going to be an easy thing to walk away from. So I've got 3 shifts left. Basically, I go in tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. For those of you that listen right away, which is Friday night, I'll be there at 6 o'clock, and I won't leave except for to come home and sleep for a few hours until Monday morning when we finally shut the door. So it's going to be a wild weekend, and we've already had so much love and support come out. Just people. I mean, there's already been tears. I mean, it's just crazy how many people are attached to this place and the people there. People come up, crying, like literally crying. Like, I can't believe it. I've spent so much time here, and I love, so much about this. And, people, the saddest thing for me, I think, is you say you're going to keep in touch with everyone, but the truth is the place itself and that job that I have was the magnet in which people, we could hang out because they knew where I was if they needed or wanted to see or talk to me. And so now, unless I were to get a job down the street at another bar, which you never know, but that's certainly not something that has been solidified or even explored yet. I just found out last week. But my point is to continue to stay in touch with these people is not going to be easy. There's quite a few that are kind of in that secondary. You consider them friends and you love them, but are you going to keep in touch with them? I mean, how many people can you keep in your circle and spend time with monthly or even quarterly? Like how often can you go and see, hey, I haven't seen you in 6 months, let's get together. And nice thing about technology today, with between the phones and the internet and stuff, is you can meet up with somebody once a year, and it's perfectly acceptable and all right, and both of you benefit from it. But I'm going to miss these daily and or weekly interactions with these people, because I've really, I mean, I kind of grew up in it. I mean, as far as my adulthood, I moved to New York at 24, started working there at 25, and so I've been there 21 years. and it's crazy. I don't know. So I just wanted to say thank you for those of you that have supported me through all this stuff, and thank you for being a customer and being a friend and being a lover for some of you. I have thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it, and I hope that we are able to continue our relationships and friendships moving forward. And I am sorry if I am not the better one at keeping in touch. I do my best, I really do. But if I ever cross your mind and you have my number or even the website, whatever, and you want to reach out, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. That the people is what made that business, what made my life in that business worth it. And it is 100% on you I thank you for making that possible, making that be. So I'm not going to talk much more about it. There will be endless amounts of stories coming forward because I'll recall something. I mean, constantly there's a story pops in or somebody brings something up. So I will share all of these with you in the future. But for this one, this was I just wanted to say thanks and let you know what was going on. Bar Coastal will be shutting the doors on Sunday. And I'm not sure what my next step is. But next week, I am going to Las Vegas. My high school buddy Adrian and my other high school buddy Jeff. Jeff's still a question mark. But Adrian is going to be out there. And we're going to meet up and watch the first couple days of the NCAA tournament. So I'm excited about that. Thank you again. If you have not done it yet, please go to www.the1218show.com and just check the website there. I will, for those of you that do check that out and want to know where I end up, I will post updates and put it in the podcast when I land at whatever job I end up getting next or whatever I'm doing. I wish I would have started this at the beginning of COVID. Maybe I'd have a podcast big enough that I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I'm starting too late. I'm always 2 steps behind everyone, I swear to God. But no, I'm being silly. But I do want you to check out the website, and please, if you have a YouTube channel subscription, or if you're just on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, which is linked on the website. I'm begging everyone to get me to 1,000 subscribers. That'll help me tremendously. So, thank you. I'm gonna set up an Instagram for the 1218 show here this week. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna have time, but in the next week or two. I'll set up an Instagram. I do have a Facebook set up, so check that out. There's nothing much on it yet. It's just I'm just getting it all linked together. So that's the story for this week. Oh, and by the way, last week I got a lot of feedback on the movie list. That was quite fun. And not ironically, but truthfully, as soon as I got off of it, I started thinking of others, and then in talking to people, more came to mind or was mentioned, and I'm like, oh shoot! So I have another list. I shouldn't have done any alternates in the last one. I should have just made a second list of 10 because I've already got another list. But we'll worry about that next week. So thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Next week I might have to do next week's on Monday if I can squeeze it in because I leave on Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a Vegas podcast because I'm not taking that much luggage out. And then we'll be back in the swing of things for a regular schedule when I get back. So, peace and love, many blessings to all of you. Thanks again for your support. I love every single one of you, and I wish you nothing but the best. So have a great day and a great week, and I look forward to the next one. Bye-bye.